Abner Productions. Today, we will be doing a Greek mythology project. I know you will enjoy it. Yes, sir.
Welcome, class. Today we will be going over Greek mythologies, narratives, and myths. One of the most famous Greek mythologies is the Trojan War. According to the ancient Greek poet Homer, the Trojan War was caused by Paris, son of the Trojan king. Paris abducted Helen, who was the wife of Menelaus, and brought her to the city of Troy. To get Helen back, Menelaus got help from his brother Agamemnon, who assembled a Greek army to defeat Troy. And according to Roman poet Virgil, the Trojans lost the battle after the Greeks left behind a big wooden horse and pretended to sail home. Little did the Trojans know, the wooden horse was filled with Greek soldiers. The horse got brought into the Trojan city behind the walls. The Greeks flooded out and destroyed the whole city and taken back Helen. All the inhabitants of the city were killed or taken into slavery. The Trojan War has shaped the way ancient Greek culture has been seen up to the 21st century. The stories of gods and warriors have changed the way of how people see Greek mythology. Moving on to number 2.
Moving on to Abner.
Hello class, my name is the one and only the GOAT Abner, and today I will be telling you about some Greek mythology rituals. The ancient Greeks. The key ritual act in ancient Greece was animal sacrifice, especially oxen, goats, and sheep. Sacrifices took place within the sanctuary, usually at an altar in front of a temple. Greece used their ancient religion as a significant part of their everyday life. They believed that the gods were present everywhere and used rituals and religious sites to adore these deities. Notable life events such as births, marriages, and deaths were dedicated to the gods. Nice job. Let's go. You got this. Greek mythology's worldview. Mythology enables humans' harmony and relation with nature. At a time when natural magnificence could not be explained by science, mythology became a means of explaining oblivion. People were able to explain the events in nature by establishing similarities with their own actions. As the Greek civilization and population expanded, it progressively destroyed the forest for firewood, charcoal needed in firing pottery and other industrial processes, and lumber. The great trees were often burned by accident or as part of military operation, or simply to create more open pasture land. Welcome back, guys. Today we will be doing influence on culture and society. Greek mythology's characters and stories influence and inspire art, architecture, and film. The ancient Greeks believed gods and goddesses controlled nature and guided them through their lives. The ancient Greeks built monuments, buildings, and statues to honor the gods. Sculptures, pots, vases, mosaics, and even jewelry were all designed to honor the gods. People in ancient Greece also laid the foundation of modern-day study, such as astrology, mathematics, biology, engineering, and medicine. Greek mythology has also shaped culture and traditions, directed political systems, and encouraged problem solving. It would not be too outlandish to say that the basic concept of modern-day thinking can be traced back to Greek stories and the valuable lessons that they taught. Let's go. Welcome back, class. Today we will be doing origins. It is not known where Greek mythology originated from, but it most likely originated from stories told in the Minoan civilization of This flourished in 1100 BC to 3000 BC. As of December 24, 2024, 1100 BCE was exactly 1,140,000. Actually, this is false. I just checked it, and it was 3,124 years ago and 30 days. My fault, guys. Greek mythology spread by poets known as Raspods. Raspods memorized these stories and passed them down generation to generation, now down to the present day. Some key figures of Greek mythology include Zeus, king of all gods, god of weather, law, and fate. Hera, the queen of the gods, goddesses, and woman of the marriage. Aphrodite, queen of beauty and love. And finally, Apollo, god of prophecy, music, poetry, and knowledge. Athena is the god of wisdom, warfare, and handicraft. Artemis is the god of the hunt, wild animals, vegetation, and childbirth. Alright, Poseidon is the god of the sea and just water, storms, earthquakes, and horses. Hermes is the god of boundaries, roads, travelers, merchants, thieves, athletes, shepherds, speed, language, and messages. Now there are a few gods left like Hades, Dionysus, Ares, and Demetria. This isn't true. Her name is Demeter.
Goodbye.
CapCut is literally starting to lag and like crash sometimes. So I'm just gonna move on to number 5. Core beliefs. Let's go. Back, honored guests. Today we will be going over core beliefs of ancient Greek mythology. The Greeks believed in gods and goddesses who they thought had control over every part of everybody's lives. The ancient Greeks believed that they had to pray to the gods for help and protection because if the gods were unhappy with someone, then they would punish them. Greek beliefs about the afterlife. Most ancient Greeks anticipated that the soul left the body after death and continued to exist in some form. Some Greeks believed reincarnation, but not many, only like a few poets. The closest thing to heaven in Greek mythology was a place called Elysium, but only the best, like coolest people, the most nice, like the heroes, the demigods would go there, no just like average person. Now this is the Asphodel Meadows. This is the place where no heroes go, but no like bad guys go. It's basically just like a dark field where your soul can wander aimlessly. And after a while, you forget your past life and you just have no memory. Now this right here is the underworld, man. This is where the biggest bad guys are sent to. Now it is a process to get here. First, you have to cross into the underworld. So, when somebody dies, their soul or shade travels to the entrance of the underworld. The soul had to cross the river Styx, or sometimes they call it Acheron, with the help of Charon, the ferryman. To pay for the journey, the dead were buried with a coin, an obulus, under their tongue or on their eyes. Those who couldn't pay were left to wander the shores eternally. Judgment of the soul. Once across, the soul stood before 3 judges, Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Achis, who decided its fate. They examined the person's deeds in life and sent them to one of the 3 places, which we went over before. Alright guys, sit down and relax for story time about the Odyssey. The Odyssey is an ancient Greek poem written by Homer, the guy at the start of this. So basically, after the Trojan War,
there's a guy named Odysseus who was on the Trojan team, who came out of the horse. And after he won the battle, he continued his walk home. But before this, Odysseus angered Poseidon, the god of the sea, which led to him being trapped in the ocean and constantly delayed from reaching home. Here's what happened. The blinding of Polyphemus, this is Poseidon's son. Odysseus and his men landed on an island inhabited by the Cyclops Polyphemus, Poseidon's son. Polyphemus trapped him inside his cave and ate several of Odysseus's men. Odysseus tricked him by getting him drunk and then blinding him with a heated wood stake. As they escaped, Odysseus arrogantly revealed his real name, allowing Polyphemus to pray to Poseidon for his revenge. Poseidon was pretty mad about this, so he cursed Odysseus, ensuring he would suffer a long and difficult journey home. This led to constant storms, shipwrecks, and misfortunes, preventing him from reaching Ithaca. That's his home, by the way. How did Odysseus finally escape Poseidon's wrath? He wandered for years, facing dangers like the Witch's Circle, the Underworld, and the deadly Cycla and Charybdis. He was trapped for 7 years by the nymph Calypso, who loved him and refused to let him go. Finally, the gods, especially Athena and Zeus, decided to help him, forcing Poseidon to let him go. After all the help, he was finally able to make it home. The moral of the story is Odysseus' suffering was caused by his arrogance and the gods' power over mortals. His journey is a lesson of endurance, wisdom, and humility, showing how even the greatest heroes are at the mercy of fate and divine will.